All right, this video is going to take you through the activity that you're going to do today. You're going to be getting a filter quiz. You're actually going to get a paper copy of this filter quiz. And what your job is to do this period is to see if you can find all 11 of those filters that were applied to the original picture. So what you're going to do for this is, of course, have that handout, put your name on it, hang on to it, present it to me tomorrow when we go over our results. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the digital copy of this quiz, and you're going to download it. So you're going to click on the three buttons up on the top right, open a new window, and then you're going to download that. And I'd like you to do that to the original flower picture as well. Open a new window and download. Okay, so you have these two in the footer, and we're going to do the process that we've done before, where you're going to drag these pictures out onto your desktop. Then what you're going to do is bring them over to your graphic design folder. You should have a new folder called filter. So you're going to bring them over there. Now I did this already, so I'm just going to tell it to replace it. I have images there already. Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is to open up the images in Photoshop, the two of them. So again, you still have your paper copy in front of you. You're going to have the picture of the flower, and you are also going to have open the filter quiz. So you might not have realized this about these images, is that when you have these two images and you can use the tabs to go back and forth from each picture, if you take this tab and you actually drag it out, it will kind of exist in its own little window. That's not to say you can't do any editing, because if this is highlighted here, any of the changes we make will affect this image right here. Whereas if I click on the original flower image, the toolbar and the menu bar will affect this here. So if you're working independently, because I did say that you can work with groups, but if you're working independently, you can certainly do this on your own. Maybe you like to do almost like a split screen kind of thing, where you have this here, and you also have this original image where you can apply the filters in Photoshop. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to open up this filter quiz is that if you're looking at the paper copy, it might just be too small. But what you can do is you can zoom in to these images, and you'll have a better view of what these filters look like. It's a little pixely because you're taking this document and you're zooming into it, but it'll give you a better idea than the paper copy. You can zoom into these examples. So what you're going to do is on the paper copy, you're going to kind of guess which filters that were being used. Now, to help you along, you can apply some of the filters on this original picture. So if you're trying to figure out the first one, for example, you can go up to, as long as you're making sure that this is highlighted, you can go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and in this window here, you can see if you can identify if some filters kind of look like the ones in the examples. Now, to kind of trick you a little bit, I did take the filters that are here, and I did change the settings a little bit. So you may need to adjust the settings a bit to make it kind of resemble what you might see over here. Now, to fill you in, I did not use film grain for any of those examples. So you're going to go through all of these different filters, and you're going to see if you can recognize which filters are being added to these images over here. Now, one other thing I'm going to tell you is for number 2 and number 9, there were particular filters. Those are particular filters that are dictated by the colors that are in the foreground and the background. So in other words, for number 2, in order to make it look like number 2, you might need to change these two colors into the two colors that are applied there. Similarly, same thing with number 9. Now number 10 and number 11 are not in the filter gallery. So I think I mentioned it in class that if you go to the filter gallery, all of these filters that are listed here, which by the way you can access through this list right here, all of these filters are not all the filters in Photoshop. There are some that exist in these folders here as well as here, because I know we were playing around with Liquify, which technically is a filter, and that's not in the filter gallery. And so there's a whole mess of them that are here that are not in the filter gallery. But anyway, so number 10 and number 11 are filters, but they are not in the filter gallery. You will not find them in this window here. Okay, so see what you can do. We're going to go over the results tomorrow. So what you do is you hang on to that piece of paper that you're working on today, you get your name on it, you put the class period on there, and you save that document, put it in your folder, bring it back tomorrow. We're going to go over the results together tomorrow before we go ahead and grade it. So hopefully we went through, hopefully you'll find most of the filters, but if you didn't get all of them, if you're stuck on some, we'll go over the results tomorrow. And after we go over the results, that's when I'm going to collect these for a grade. So don't lose that paper. Okay, so I'll see you guys Wednesday.